viewers and subscribers, welcome back to Beating the Press podcast. I am your host, Rafa. Now, coming up in this evening's podcast, big news in the EPL. Amorim out and much more taking place in terms of the results. Now, joining me this evening to discuss these happenings and to talk some EPL football, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Sir Jeff.
What a God. Good evening, viewers and subscribers. Pleasure to be on the program, Sir Rafa.
Yes, sir. Welcome. We also have returning from his long Christmas break, Christoph.
My long Christmas break.
Well, we're gonna
Good to
jump
be back,
straight.
viewers.
We're gonna jump straight in, Sir Jeff. Amorim out. What is your take?
I think it was a poor decision. And why I think it is a poor decision is you made him come into an environment midway, or you could say a quarter way this season. Wanted the end of the season, you decided no, you wanted him to come in straight away. Now, after doing that, you already knew from the get-go, from you hired him, that he played a specific system. He didn't shy away from telling you his system, and you agreed to hire him. Now, after a year plus, you're now asking him to change his system and go into a system that is not there. But the thing that I want to get at, mostly with United, and this is a misconception along with a lot of fans. The thing is, Amorim has been speaking plainly, but persons are not picking up on what he's saying. For example, in his press briefings when he just came in, he's always mentioning, okay, it's going to be teething pains, it's going to be bad for now because we have some things to work out. What was he trying to say? All along, everyone, most pundits, especially here in the UK, all their thing was about this system and why it's not getting results. And everyone knows before you can be successful or before you can do anything, you must lay a foundation, right? What is the foundation? It is the character. It is the standards that you set. No, before you can be successful, I'm not saying in the interim, you're not going to try to pick up points and anything like that. But in the meantime, what your main focus here is to bring back standards that you had before. And that is what he was driving on. At almost every press conference before, he was saying, okay, we need to do this and get the players following the system or following the way that I want. Most times, it's not about 4-3-3 or who is not running here or not passing there. It's not that, The thing that Amorim has been telling everyone is, and especially now that you're seeing it with the younger players, is that the players are afraid. So when they get the ball, they're making mistakes. Why they're making mistakes? Because they're afraid of making a mistake. That's the thing that he wants to get out of the system before you can see the benefits of everything else, That's what you have to fix.
So you come around any improvement now there, though? Were you seeing any improvement?
Of course.
In terms of advancing.
Of course. And guess what, Rafa, honestly, a lot of persons who are going to listen to me now, this is the big takeaway. We spoke off here about this. My thing is, last year we came 15.
Right.
I predicted, you remember when I predicted in the group that, listen, 9th is where I want United to place, around 8 or 9th. I don't want Europe.
Right.
There are key things why I don't want Europe. I know that the club needs money and going into Champions League, and so they will get it boosts the kitty. Yeah, fine. But here's the thing why I don't want Europe. We need to get rid of certain players, right? We have some players on some high wage bills. The moment you secure Europe with these players is when everyone is going to look and say, oh, wait, but we secured Europe with these players. Let's give them a contract extension. And once that contract extension comes into play, they go back to their normal thing around. So we need to get those people out. How are we going to get them out? as phase them out. This year, who is leaving the club? Casemiro, Malacia, and Maguire. So if you're getting those persons out of the club, you're going to need somebody coming in. There's no way you're trying to build and you hire a manager and you say, okay, I gave you 4 or 5 players in the summer. Mboma, what's his name again?
Sesko.
Cunha and Sesko. So you got 3 players up the front. Fine. And then January now you're going to tell him no. You need at least one body in January. So it's like you're not going to get the central midfielder. Probably you'll have to pay a premium at January to get that. But you need a wing back. It's time now to phase out Dalot. It's time now to phase out.
But Dalot is a regular
Malacia.
starter.
No, but you need to phase out these people now. So you're going to tell him no. And
Freshen
then
up
here's the big kicker now. You want the team to make gradual progress. So why is it now that the club is in 5th position? You're just making, we should be in Champions League. That is what has pushed us into this problem, Immediately after Sir Alex and Davis Moyes, as soon as we out of Champions League, the main thing now is we need to get back into Europe. It's not building. And then once the team is secure and is functioning properly, it will make Europe.
Naturally.
Don't
it
go
will
for
happen
Europe.
naturally. The results will come naturally.
Once you follow the process correctly and the team is functioning, you make Europe. As my colleague on here, Christoph, after the Arsene Wenger era, out of Europe for quite some time, what did Arteta do? Systematically put players into position, phase out who needs to phase out. Is Arsenal worried about Europe now? No. So why are you trying to buy a player to make Europe? No, fix everything. And he was fixing everything.
Interesting stuff for sure, Jeff. Interesting stuff for sure. Very passionate there, Manchester United fan at it. But Christoph, what's your take? I mean, you've been clamoring for Amorim all season with the poor set of results. I mean, having finished just
What?
above the relegation zone last year.
No. I did not want Amorim out. I thought I think it is very stupid by United. I think you are misremembering things I've said because Hefe has reiterated a number of things I've said about Manchester United that they need to get out players on high wages. Do not focus on Europe at the moment. Focus on just making the top 10 first. That is the goal. Europe comes after. All right. Hefe, I said that because I said United need to follow what Arsenal has done with Arteta. If you're bringing in a manager who does a certain thing, you need to give him time, give him windows to get his players in, get the players out. I've said it a number of times, a number of years now. United need to get rid of the players who are on high wages, who are underperforming because they perform 2 3 months, contract renewal time, you get a new contract, higher wage, then back to square one. You get those players out, you get players in who are hungry to win and want to compete. Harry Maguire, if you recall, Harry Maguire some years ago was, the laughing stock. Nobody wanted him to start. He was making bad passes. He contract renewal time, he hits a good patch of form, new contract, back to square one. So there's a number of things.
But what would you say though to those who are pointing to Amorim's record? What do you say to those fans or supporters though?
Arsenal has challenged for the Premier League title last 4 seasons straight. They fell short. Last season, a lot of injuries, but the last couple of seasons, missing out on the league by 1 point, 2 point, whatever. Arteta had bad results for the first 2 or 3 years. They weren't great, finishing 8 back-to-back seasons. You can't bring in a manager every season and then restart. A new manager coming, I don't want Sesko, I don't want Cunha, I don't want, and then you start the cycle over again. This chopping and changing of managers has only worked for probably one team in the EPL, and that is Chelsea. It has not worked for anybody else.
I agree totally. And with regards to the results,
You're right.
Now let us take a historical look at these results. Everyone is clamoring Amorim. When I'll take it from Mourinho. Mourinho came second, and Mourinho said, "This is the best result I have ever had since I've been a coach." All
Best
right,
achievement in his career.
biggest achievement. Everyone laughed, ridiculed him. He was fired and said, "What are you talking about? You can't talk about Manchester United in that manner. You're not fit to be a Manchester United coach." Okay, they got in Oli. Oli, first 10 games or so, counter-attacking football. Everyone is, oh yes, give Oli. While the foundation was still rotting. So the outside is painted beautifully and nice, and everyone is saying, "Oh yes, they are back," but the foundation is still rotting. Okay, after that second, what happened now? The cracks start to show. What happened to Ole? Ole out, right? You got in Ragnick for interim, but his special thing was just to highlight the crack and what the crack was. So let's not think of him as an interim, just to look at the major coaches. So you got in Eric Ten Hag. Okay, came in. Same problems that he's having with the different players. You have a player, as Christoph mentioned there. He mentioned Harry Maguire playing good. It is the first I've seen Shaw play one full season. And you know what year this is? A World Cup year. You know the last time Shaw played so many games back to back?
Last World Cup year.
2022. You know the last time he played back to back to that again? 2018. He always somehow is fit for a World Cup year. And then after that, what happens? He's injured again for how long? Luke Shaw has been at Man U now for almost 10 years.
Wow. Big achievement. Testimonial coming up, Jeff.
And this is the thing. If you look back at I was trying to do some research to find how many left backs Man City has bought since Pep has been there. And change. How many left backs Arsenal has gotten and changed?
Right.
Case in point. And let me show you why you can't expect sudden results. You have to put the foundation in place. There was a left back in Man City called Zinchenko. Pep bought Zinchenko. Played a couple seasons, one a few, but was not performing. Okay, Arsenal saw it as okay, we can I think take him on a loan, and it feel like
Right.
Arsenal bought him.
So
Arsenal bought him.
But loan first and then took him,
No,
or just straight buy.
Straight buy. Straight buy.
Bought him. Where's Zinchenko now?
Nottingham Forest.
But we still have Luke Shaw.
So the standards haven't changed at left back. And in other position is the point then, Jeff. The standard has remained the same.
In general. Because the persons who you should be phasing out and getting rid of, you're not getting rid of. And you're expecting a higher ceiling with the same rotten foundation.
Right.
If you go back a couple of years to that, infamous Ronaldo interview, Ronaldo spoke about a lot of those things in that interview, saying that there was a lot of things that needed to change at Man United before they could be champions again.
Another thing, I posted the Ragnick circle again in the group when he said this club needs open heart surgery. All right. And every year you ask me the same question, Mr. T. I said to you, nothing is going to change. It doesn't matter who we hire. Nothing is going to change. The most you can expect is that when the new manager comes in, we get a run of good results, then it just goes back to normal. I've been saying this now for...
no, man. The new manager will come in, just like you said. New coach bounce, Man, you will be winning games. Everybody said, United is back.
But
And
no,
then come
Mr.
crashing down, you know?
Yeah, Rafa, I've been telling him, he is a witness, I've been telling
Right,
him for
right.
the last about 8 years now, what is going to happen every season. Okay? All right. He made a statement today. And he said that, okay, yesterday in his press conference, he said,
Amorim.
yes, Amorim, he said, Wilcox and the scouting department should be doing their jobs. What does that mean? Or what do I get from that? If he said, okay, and I spoke to you about this, Rafa, also. If he says, okay, I need a central midfielder. Right now, I think that they really want Baleba. But you're not going to get Baleba in January. And if you're going to go for Baleba, it's 100 million in January, or
Right.
close to that, or 80 million. Brighton is not going to let him go for
Yeah,
less than that.
plus he's away on the African Cup of Nations currently as
Africa.
well.
Fine. So you say so if that's the person he wanted and he said, okay, scouting department, Wilcox, this is the person that I want. You're going to say, okay, find out, he's 100 million. Right now, we can't afford that. But we can give you another position. So we can give you right wing back or left wing back. But to tell him nothing, you're not going to get anything. No, after you brought him.
So maybe there was a falling out earlier than Jeff. This is the surface we're seeing at the interview, but maybe conversations were had prior.
I think what really happened was the hierarchy is, and Amorim said it as well. He says a lot of things, plain, in the opening, but persons are not. It's not
you have
picking.
to read in
not
between the lines. You have to read in between the lines.
All right. So he said that they what were Wilcox and them not going to get any players or any players he's not going to get any players. And why is it that there was a fall off? Here's what I think. From about September or October, when he was not getting a lot of wins. Right. Oh, he should change his formation. Oh, he should go to a back four. Oh, he should go to a back four. All right. So Pundit started that. Then specifically, you had like Gary Neville. He should switch to a back four. Then Paul Scholes. Oh, he should switch back to a back four. Oh, Nicky Butt. Oh, he should go to a back four. So the Man U, yes,
old boys.
All right, and these are legends of the club. Okay, so what is the hierarchy doing now? They're taking in this information. Oh, the Man United way under Sir Alex Ferguson was always a back four, right? And they're taking in that information and this is what I think, and putting pressure on Amorim. Oh, change your system. All right, 3-4-3 not working. Go to a back four. And this is the point that I am laughing now, and that's why I said that. Why sack him? To get a back four coach? So Darren Fletcher is going to play a back four now. So here's my question, Sir T. I want you to tell me, and Christoph can jump in, who were the central midfield pair for Man United under Eric Ten Hag? You can pick. You can give me combinations. Just tell me.
Well, Casemiro, Bruno.
Majority of the time. And who else?
Eriksen.
Eriksen.
Right. McTominay would get a game here or there as well.
Yeah. Menu.
Ugarte. On occasion, Van der Beek.
So it is Menu, Ugarte, and all of that. Yes?
Yeah, the same set of players that's currently there, predominantly.
Hold on. But
the same midfielders.
At that time, weren't persons saying, okay, then the midfield is too slow. You need a dynamic midfield. It is too open.
Well, yeah, I think Ogate was brought in, but he has proven a failure, it seems though.
No. But Ogate was under Ten Hag as well.
Right, right. Yeah, I think Ten Hag brought him in to solve that issue
So,
of having that sturdy man in the middle, but nothing from Ogate. It seemed like a poor
okay.
purchase in hindsight now.
And you got someone who said, okay, back three, let us stop playing this basketball type of football where it is a just transition because you don't
Counter.
have the legs to go and transition to and fro, up and down. Because whenever they break on us, there's no
Right,
one in the midfield to chase.
right.
Now, somehow, by some miracle, I don't know what's going to happen. You're going to now go back to a back four and have these same midfielders, the one that you were complaining about 2 years ago. So what is that, Mr. T? Isn't that five
Well,
steps back?
yeah, it's definitely a backward step in that regard for sure. But some might say, possibly under a different manager, he could possibly get different results with the same set of players. I'm not sure. I mean, no, United have made a few investments. Cunha, Embumo, Sesko, Meno has come into his own somewhat. Maybe a different man in charge, a different voice in the locker room. I don't know. Who is the man to lead Man U forward is the big question at this point in time. I mean, you've gotten rid of Amorim, so who now steps in, take
No,
charge to see
it's
better
not.
results?
It's not who steps in to take charge and see better results. You fire the manager midpoint of the season. All right, what is the target for the remainder of the season? Need to be identified. Are we going to appoint an interim manager or are we going to appoint a manager? Right? I think Man United need to step back and say, what is Manchester United? What kind of football do we want to play? What are our goals in the future? Short term, long term. What's the short term goal? The next 2 seasons, what do we want? Are we going to this season? I said at the beginning of the season, based on results last season, Man United target should be finish the top half of the table, first of all. All right. Second thing should have been Amorim needs to start getting the results, getting his style of play down, getting the players to do what he wants. That was starting to take shape. They are in the top 10. They're what, fifth, right? In the top 10, they're in fifth. Um, Players they're starting to find the goals to win games. Granted,
Or create chances?
last 3 games was kind of shaky, right? Surprised about the draw last match that they drew. But it, the goals that I had set for Manu, they were achieving them. They're in fifth. Why would you fire a manager midway in the season at fifth? They,
Uh,
you
Yeah,
can't
but
tell me you can't
wait,
you cannot
it
tell
could be
me.
connected to the Chelsea firing as well. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm hearing one report where talks were held with Maresca as well, Sir Jeff. I'm not sure if you're hearing such rumors
no,
floating around, but the
no.
rumor is talks were held with Maresca. Amorim got a wind of these potential talks taking place behind his back, and there was some falling out or further falling out with the hierarchy. And of
Um,
course, based on the interview as well, Jeff, if you listen closer to the interview, there seemed to have been some sort of disconnect between roles, coach versus manager. I'm not sure if you were listening to the interview closely and heard that comparative analysis that Amarin was trying to bring across. His role, whether his role was a coach or he was brought in to be a manager. So I'm not sure how the two roles may overlap as
the
it
the
relates,
thing
as you said, to the hierarchy at Manchester United currently.
the thing is because of the previous regime, I can understand the overlap because after the Ten Hag and how he signed players and what Woodward did would just say, okay, a coach says, I want this player and go and buy. They were looking at it as having almost like a sporting director role. So they will, with the manager, be looking at certain players rather
Right.
than just buying any player for the club. They would be looking. But the thing that to me, the thing that they gave Amarin the permission is like, okay, you will be involved in the in the selection process. So you're not just going to, it's unlike what Chelsea wants to do. Chelsea wants to just get 22 players and hand it to Maresca and say, okay, coach these players.
Gotcha,
So
right?
it's totally
So
different.
in Chelsea situation, Maresca would be a head coach.
Would be a head coach.
Gotcha. So in other words, for Chelsea, the sporting director buys the players and say, Maresca, here are 22 players.
Yes.
Pick your team from this, or coach up these players.
Yes.
So that's Chelsea, per se.
That's Chelsea.
Where you have a head coach role.
Yes.
All
Man United now is almost like a hybrid, because what they were looking at is that we don't want to fall back into the trap of having players that the next coach doesn't want. So they're taking the lead specifically on that, but definitely Amorim would have major input in who comes in. But at the end of the day, the players that they get, another manager would want them.
Okay, so you're choosing profile players that could potentially play across multiple systems.
Yes, can fit
and
the
multiple
clubs,
philosophy.
Yeah, can fit the club's outlook for the future, but also fit Amorim's system.
Okay, currently.
All right. So that's what that's what they initially offered him. So he's going to say, okay, I want this player. He fits your system. He fits my system. Let's get that player. And I will now have authority in terms of where I want to work at first. So I want to look at the forward line first. I want to look at the midfield first. I want to get someone for the defense first. He would have that authority.
In terms of a priority
other clubs, I would say, no, we're going to fix midfield first. He would have that broad overview of that.
Okay.
What is happening now is because they're looking, and what's happening to Man U, Man U is just suffering from bad mind, because they're just looking at Liverpool and Man City and just getting jealous.
Gotcha. Overnight
and
success.
Not putting the thing
setting.
Because you're looking now and you're saying, we're this close, we're top 5. Switch to a back 4 so that we can, so you've moved away, as Christoph is highlighting. You set a goal and you're close to the goal, and it's as if you don't meet the goal as yet, you're close to the goal. It's like say, oh no, it's time to change the goal now.
Oh, it's almost like you overachieve and then you reset a new objective based on that overachievement.
And now you're tearing down all that you've made plan before just because you want this thing that you never thought that you could have.
So solutions though, going forward though, Jeff. Solutions. We're at this point.
I wanted to point out to Christoph, the interim manager until the end of the season is Darren Fletcher.
Okay, so Man U is holding out on the interim manager.
So they won't be bringing in a recognized manager as interim.
No, not so. For the next 18 games, Darren Fletcher will be the coach for Man United.
So if Darren Fletcher comes in now and loses the next 5 games in a row, per se, will they change the interim manager?
Most definitely.
What is the target for Darren Fletcher?
Because listen this, Christoph. If you lose 3 games in a row, we're in 5th now. If we lose 3 games in a row, we could end up at 15th.
Yeah, God, that's
how bunched the table is.
I believe between 5th and 14 is separated by 4 points.
You see why this makes no sense now?
4 points, yeah. 4 points.
You see why this makes no sense? So, it's the first time, I said it to a friend of mine on the phone, it's the first time I'm worried about relegation. Not even last year. Not even last year.
This year.
If you ask me at any point, I'm like, no. This year, no. Right now, where am I? 5th. I'm looking at the relegation.
Wow. That's a big call there, Sir Jeff. And you have to give us the rationale behind such a
the rationale is you're moving back to a system that has proven not to work with the players that you have. So if we had gotten Balabar, we have gotten a dynamic midfielder to support like a Menu. I would have said, okay, fine, yes, you can switch back to a back four, but you're going back to the same thing that you had before. The same thing
same personnel.
And the other thing, you see, again, going back to the culture and the thing that Amorim was trying to change. We're playing where we have a team that, and this is Manu's biggest problem. We have a team where our forward players only think forward. They don't think of the defensive aspect of the game. Our captain is at fault numerous times for this. And at one point, Roy Keane called him out, and everyone was saying, oh, Bruno is the best at this, he's delivering. And again, typical, they're not listening, because Roy Keane was not criticizing his forward play. What Roy Keane was saying is, you're a midfielder. Someone is breaking. You have to have the situational awareness to know that someone is breaking and you have to follow. But again, why we've always conceded is because if the ball is in our area, Mr. T, and I'll put it, Ahmad, Mbumo, Sesko, Bruno, Cunha, their first instinct is not to defend. Their first instinct, without winning the ball, the opponent has the ball, their first instinct is, oh, we want to move to get the ball, and not seeing the danger and the overloads that potentially can happen. And when it happens now, they're looking at the defenders like, oh, you guys should have stopped. Stop what is happening. You take a look at the goal that, who scored it again? The Everton goal.
Everton. Oh,
when Bruno tracked the player, who was it? Dewsbury Hall, and stopped once he saw Euro facing up to him. Rather than helping Euro so that the Dewsbury Hall turned back, he just said, okay. And Dewsbury Hall shifted to the right and kick it. Yeah. And then turning now to look at Euro to like, oh, you should have stopped that. So you see those small things,
small details.
Yeah, it's not a difference. That's not a system thing, It's just a player small awareness. Detail. Another one, I'm not digging him out now, Euro. You're going to play Morgan Rogers. I can understand last year when the Southampton player ran you ragged, and you're afraid of the open spaces. But it's Morgan Rogers. You're supposed to say, oh, is he fast enough like to beat me on the outside? No. Move quickly then. If he's someone who is very fast, then I can say, oh, you can't go there. He's going to skin you.
Tactical awareness.
Those little, that is not a 4-4-3 or 3-4-3 thing, It's just a small thing.
Small details.
And these are the little small things. And going back, I listened to an interview with Tim Cahill on a game with Arsenal when Arsenal beat Man U 1-0. Probably in Arsenal, when Arteta just started.
I know what
and
you're
he's saying,
about.
Listen, you can see the little small things. Yes, they're losing now, but he is fine-tuning the little things. And a lot of Arsenal fans, oh, Arteta out, Arteta, just like these Man United fans now. Amorim out. Not waiting patiently for those things to fall in place. And once those things fall in place, the results will come.
We're quickly running out of time, Sir Jeff. We see your fellow Manchester United colleague has finally joined us. Sir Cole, you have 2 minutes. Give us your take. Amorim sacked.
Well, I was not pressing for him to be sacked. Neither do I have an issue with him being sacked. To me, he has gotten enough time to at least suggest or show that he can be the change that we need. And having been in the job for a year and probably a few months, I don't think he hasn't convinced me that he is the person to provide that change that we need at this time. So I am okay with giving another person a chance to actually get the change that that the club needs.
Ah, indeed, indeed. Well, quick final word, Christoph. We're quickly running out of time. We have 3 minutes on the clock. Quick, quick final word, and then I'll
Uh,
come back to Jeff to
I
give a
think
quick closing remark.
I think United have made a poor choice, and potentially in the short term they're going to regret firing Amorim this early in the season.
Sir Jeff, what says you? Final thoughts.
Similar, poor decision to sack him. I saw enough to allow him to stay the full course of the 3 years that they planned to give him. I wouldn't have sacked him until the end of that. Because even if you move him on, he would have put in the foundation for someone else to build on. Because now you remove him, you crumbled all that he has worked on before. Yeah.
Sir Cole, you have the final word, sir. What says you?
It's all a matter of opinion as it relates to the time frame. How long is too long and how short is too short? For those for persons it may vary. For some persons it may need a few months to be convinced. Some persons need a year. I think having you given a 3 year tenure, I think a year is as good enough a time frame, a measuring stick to get a fair judgment of where the club is going. And I don't think we have progressed much to be honest.
One last thing before why I'm saying a year is not good enough. If he took over from a team that was solid, like even this Chelsea team, at this moment, you don't have any underlying issues. If you're taking over from a team that is okay, but you're just looking for progress, but you have a stable base, I would agree with Sir Cole, but not when the base is rotten and you're trying to move out persons. You still have a Sancho and you still have a Rashford on your books.
A Maguire.
Yeah,
And
but
a Maguire.
who are there?
A Luke Shaw.
They are there.
Oh, repeat that, Sir Cole.
I'm saying they aren't there at the club now. They
Oh.
are
Rash,
there.
Rashford will be back. Rashford will be back summer. The only thing is Sancho contract ends, I think, this summer.
Mm.
A
Well,
Rashford will be back for pre-season.
we might need a whole another podcast, gents, to fully dissect this Manchester United situation. We definitely have to return to this one, but that's all the time we have, Sir Cole. Viewers, subscribers, Sir Jeff, Christoph, Sir Cole. Thanks for coming on board, sharing your thoughts and your
Yeah,
opinions for
pleasure.
sure. This was a good one in terms of what's taking place over there at Manchester United. But viewers, subscribers, that is all the time we have. Things have quickly the time has quickly run by, but again, please continue to share, subscribe, like, and of course, leave your comments in the comment section. But until next time, this is Rafa signing off.